Upbeat, gentle music starts and fades into the background. Hello everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today, I have a heartwarming story for you, one that reminds us where true strength really comes from. It's a tale set deep within a vast, lush forest, a place teeming with life, from the tallest trees to the tiniest creatures. In this magnificent forest lived a huge, powerful elephant named Fod. Fod was incredibly strong, and oh, he knew it. He would stomp through the woods, his heavy footsteps shaking the ground, and bellow for all to hear, "I am the strongest animal in this entire forest. No one, absolutely no one, can ever hurt me." He was so proud, so sure of his might. All the other animals would watch him, some in awe, some a little intimidated. One sunny afternoon, as Fod was boasting near a cluster of ferns, a tiny ant, who was diligently carrying a crumb much bigger than herself, paused to listen. She had heard Fod's loud declarations many times before. This time, she decided to speak up. With a calm and clear little voice, she said, "Dear Fod, being big and powerful is not the only kind of strength there is. Even a small creature can be strong in its own way." Fod stopped in his tracks. He lowered his massive head and peered down, trying to locate the source of the tiny voice. When he spotted the ant, he let out a rumbling laugh that shook the leaves on the nearby bushes. "You—" he chuckled, his voice dripping with amusement. "A tiny, insignificant ant. How could you possibly understand strength? Look at you! I could crush you with a single step without even noticing. How could you ever be strong like me?" The little ant wasn't offended. She simply looked up at the towering elephant and offered a gentle, knowing smile. "Perhaps not strong like you, Fod," she replied peacefully. "But strength comes in many forms. Maybe one day you will understand what real strength truly means." With that, she continued on her journey, leaving the elephant to ponder her strange words, though he quickly dismissed them with a flick of his ear. The very next day, the sun was blazing high in the sky. Fod, feeling thirsty after his morning stroll, made his way to the wide, sparkling river. He dipped his long trunk into the cool, refreshing water, ready to take a big drink. But just as he was about to suck the water up, a tiny, buzzing bee, who was also near the water's edge, got startled by the sudden movement. In a panic, the bee flew directly into the dark opening of Fod's trunk. Instantly, Fod felt a sharp, piercing pain. The bee, frightened and trapped, began to sting the sensitive inside of his trunk. A terrible trumpeting scream echoed through the forest. Fod yanked his trunk out of the water and began to run around wildly, shaking his head and thrashing in agony. He was so big and strong, yet he was completely helpless against this tiny tormentor inside him. The pain was unbearable, and he had no idea what to do. The strongest animal in the forest was brought to his knees by a creature 1,000,000 times smaller than him. His desperate cries reached the ears of the very same little aunt he had mocked the day before. She saw the great elephant in distress and didn't hesitate. She scurried as fast as her 6 tiny legs could carry her towards the chaos. "Calm down, Fod! Calm down!" she called out, her voice surprisingly steady. "Stop running around. It will only make it worse. Stay still, and I will help you." Hearing her voice, Fod, in his desperation, stopped thrashing. He was willing to try anything. He lowered his trembling trunk to the ground. True to her word, the little ant bravely climbed onto his trunk, a journey like scaling a massive mountain for her. She carefully navigated her way inside the dark passage. It was a daunting task, but she was calm and focused. She gently spoke to the panicked bee, guiding it and helping it find its way out without causing any more harm. A moment later, the bee flew out, buzzing away in a hurry. The sharp, stinging pain in Fod's trunk immediately began to fade, replaced by a wave of immense relief. He took a deep, shuddering breath. He looked down at the tiny ant who was now carefully climbing back down. He was filled with a feeling he hadn't felt in a very long time. Gratitude. "Thank you, Fod said, his voice soft and humbled. Thank you, little ant. I was in so much pain, and you saved me! You are so brave. He looked at her, his eyes full of a new understanding. Now I see. You were right. Even the smallest creature can be incredibly helpful and strong. My size and power meant nothing against that tiny bee. I was wrong. The little ant simply smiled her wise smile. True strength, Fod, she said gently, comes from wisdom, courage, and kindness. It's about helping others when they are in need, not just about how much you can lift or how loud you can roar. From that day forward, everything changed. Fod, the one sprout elephant, and the tiny, wise ant became the most unlikely of best friends. Fod learned to see the value in every single creature, no matter how big or small. He stopped boasting about his physical power and instead started using his size and strength to help others, to protect the smaller animals, and to be a gentle giant of the forest. He finally understood that real strength isn't about being invincible. It's about being kind, being humble, and having a heart big enough to respect everyone. And so, the forest became an even more wonderful place to live. All thanks to a tiny ant who taught a giant elephant a very big lesson. What a beautiful reminder for all of us, isn't it? Thank you so much for listening to this story with me today. I hope it brought a little warmth and wisdom to your day. If you enjoyed it, please give this video a thumbs up. And don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you do not miss our next story time. Until next time, take care and be kind to everyone, no matter their size. Bye for now.